how many things you have in your TI already. So in other words, friends, the program I gave you, you already have a few, percentages on the normal curve, standard normal curve, memorized from our previous work. 95% with the 2 standard deviations, 68% within 1. I think it's like almost 100% within 3. You have a few of those memorized. The beautiful thing is, once you have that function taken care of, you can do as many as you want over here. So everybody, if you would, fire it up, program, mine's number 6. It depends on wherever yours is in your list. Grab that. The first thing it asks for is it a forward problem or is it a backward problem? These are phrases I made up. That might sound mean, but it's just, you'll see why by the end of the class today. These, what we're about to do right now, are all forward problems. I'm not going to define that right now. I'm just going to call them forward. So pick forward. Pick forward. And then, good. Now this between left or right. Everything we've done so far has been between. So let's do a few more of those. Let's redo the ones we just did and then add some more to it. And then we'll show you what the lefts and the rights look like as well. So between. Okay. Between. Let me zoom this in a little better for those watching the home game. Here we go. Left bound, it's going to ask for a left bound, then a right bound. Now remember how all of our shaded regions started and stopped? Those are the bounds, left bound and right bound. So let's do one standard deviation first, -1 to 1. -1 to 1. And then just press enter. And it will draw a curve for you and shade the area between and then tell you at the bottom you shaded 68.27% of the area. That's using a wicked amount of precision. We've been calling that like roughly 2/3, right? Roughly 2/3, 68, 65. This gives you 4 decimals of precision using the actual function. So it's a lot more precise for our use. Fair? There you go. That's all. Press enter again. It says, do you want to do more probabilities? Do you want to quit? Let's do some more. Let's do some more. Let's do a forwards problem. These are all going to be forwards for the next 10 minutes or so. I want to kind of get you guys in here exploring. Let's do a between again. Let's do -2 to 2. 2 standard deviations. -2, up to 2. It's going to draw it again. Start shading at -2. Stop shading at +2. 95.45%. There you go. It's pretty slick. It takes care of all those standard and puts them all in one place for you. Rather than having to memorize them, which I know you already have, at least those 2 memorized, now you have as many as you want. Now remember the question that Madeline and Eric and Jen asked for us when I said, what's between -2 and -1? And you guys said, okay, if I know this is 68 and this is 95. Well, the reason you knew the answers to those was because you knew that this was 68 and this was 95. Suppose you didn't know that, or you had values that you didn't know. Well, hit enter again. Let's do some more probabilities. And the great part about this, do a forwards. We'll do a forwards again. We can go between -2 and -1. I got a command for you, David, for yours. So I have to show you how to use it in yours. It's a command that this is using. I can just show you how to do it. Let's go between -2 and -1. -2, -1, which is that you guys know the answer is 13.5. But suppose, again, you needed to know the 95 and 68 to do that. Here, it's going to shade it for you. Look at that. 15.6%. It's only off by a 10th because we rounded things. Pretty slick, huh? Pretty slick. Now, the best part about this is you can use it for any what I call a forwards problem. And again, I'll define in the next 10 minutes what a forward problem is versus a backwards problem. The slick part about this is you can also do one-bounded problems. And these are the ones that come in inferential statistics quite a bit. For example, suppose I wanted to know how likely it was to land at -0.5 or below. So in other words, it's not a between problem anymore. It's a shade to the left problem. It's -0.5 or below. Some of you are thinking, why the hell would you want to know that? Don't worry, there's a reason. There's a reason why you want to know this. It's just, I'm going to get the mechanics down first before we do the applications. -0.5 or below. It's still a forwards problem. Go back to your TIs, it's still a forwards problem. Exactly, but now it's a shade left. Exactly.